So we are looking at the annotation part for the plotting of ggplot. So what are the labels used? Xlab, ylab, labs, gg title. Each of the geometric functions, as you can have the options to modify, as we saw earlier, where the smoothing was using done using the model LM. So for things that only make sense globally, use a theme. Example, legend position, theme of legend dot position equal to none. This will be, a lot of people will not be able to understand, but it is like simple. The position of the legend is kept as none. So two standard appearance themes are included. The default theme is the gray background, and a theme black and white. It will be like much more plainer, like the screen that you're seeing right now. So how to modify the aesthetics, I mean the color, size, everything. So you had a plot g plus geometric point, you had the points, and in that points you have multiple parameters you can pass it inside. For example, you pass the model that being used as LM earlier. Here you can mention the colors that can be used for modifying the aesthetics. So color is equal to steel blue here, and color equal to BMI cat. BMI cat, when you give the category as color, it will assume, let's say in the BMI category we saw normal weight and overweight. So in the normal weight and overweight categories, it segregates automatically with two different colors, and size equal to 4, and alpha is related to the image coding that you can ignore as of now. So next thing, moving on, how to modify the labels in a Gplot. So nocturnal symptoms versus log of PM 2.5. So the name labs function for modifying the titles and XY axis labels. So here, this nocturnal symptoms is the label used. Earlier, if you have seen, it was very much from the data directly extracted here. But if you see here, you're modifying the title used here. Log G plus geom point is color BMI cat, color differentiated with BMI category, plus labs of title MMACS cohort, which is the title of the slide, that is, and plus labs of x equal to expression, the x-axis being modified as log star PM 2.5, and y equal to nocturnal symptoms. So that's the reason you are able to get the titles assigned properly to those labels. Moving on. So how to customize the smoothness of the line or points that we are drawing here. So here, so we are again in the same function. We see g plus geom point, aesthetics, color, BMI cat, size equal to 2. The size has been reduced. The size of the circles has been reduced to 2, and alpha equal to 1 by 2. You can ignore that now. Plus, now for the point you saw, and next for the smoothing, you can see geom smooth. You are mentioning this. You are increasing the size equal to 4, and line type equal to 3, which means dotted squares, and method equal to LM. So this logical model being used to create the line here. Moving on, how to change the theme of the plot that we are working on. So now you can see again the same function. So using aesthetic color BMI cut, again normal weight and overweight segregated, plus theme underscore black and white, base family equal to time. So you can see it is much more plain than the previous backgrounds that we have seen. So if you're able to travel back in the video, you can just move back and see the screen there, and it's much more different when you use theme black and white, base family equal to times. So moving on, so you should know about the access limits and about those. So in that test data, uh, there is again, do not go into the data sets right now. These are just examples to show you how ggplot can be used. So test data, the data date frame, there is a 100 row data frame, and in that, the outlier is marked. So the 50 comma 2 is less than this is the 100. So this is the outlier. So when you plot this, what you get is q equal to ggplot test dat. So aesthetics, x equal to x and y equal to y. So as you can see, the outlier has been marked clearly in the next graph that is shown here. This is the outlier that is shown. So you should know about always an access limit. So like so when you have access to like the access of 0 to -3 to 1 to 3, and when you have like um, the test data, in the test data the value for 50 is 100, so this is an outlier and just goes beyond. So I always recommend to remove outliers or replace it with the average of the remaining data, so that the outlier comes down to this level. So now, so you're limiting. In the previous one we saw the limit being exceeding here. So how to so when you include the outlier, the data seems coordinate Cartesian outlier is included here and it's not shown in the graph. But here the limit, in this limit the outlier is not included. You can see the data point for 50 is missing here. So when you limit -3 to 3, your outlier will go missing. So outlier you can include using coordinates of Cartesian product, like Cartesian y limit of c of -3, 3. So uh, how does the relationship between the data frames, the PM25 2.5 as a disease, and the vary by BMI and the consumption of nitrous oxide is in the data? So here I think you can ignore this for this now. We don't have the data with us now. But the this slide was solely meant for analyzing the QQ plots. So so this is the final plot that was arrived in the data. So you can get the data precisely here. This is the non-default plot. This was assigned using that aesthetics labs function, and transparent points you can make alpha, adjust alpha and aesthetics, and multiple panels can be added, and smoother lines and labels title. These are all shown in the same graph. That's the thing. So multiple facets are added to create these multiple panels for smoothing, and labels, title, everything is set properly. Now this graph makes much more sense than anything else. So the code for final plot was, including this facet trap, BMA cat no, to composition, forget about that now. So smoothing method LM was used, color was steel blue, and theme black and white, base family avenir. There are like a lot of base families, you can Google it, and labs of x equal to expression, log PM25, y equal to nocturnal symptoms, title MA6. So all these code, when you run, you'll get a plot like this, which will help you in much more easier ways. So now moving on to the summary. So ggplot2 is always it's very powerful, and it is flexible if you learn the grammar and the various elements that can be the aesthetics, the smoothing part, the points part, everything. So if you try to understand that, ggplot2 is almost like it's very powerful. And there are many more type of plots can be made, explore and mess around with the package. So the plot, as we have mentioned in the previous part one, so it will be the references are mentioned.